What's happening, YouTube? Godot Studios here, and today we're going to go through a quick overview. So, I started this Return to Retro series. I started in UE5. It might have been 5.4. And then we followed through to 5.5 and then to 5.6. And the entire series was about optimization and performance and returning to like retro aesthetics. I chose to stay with deferred rendering because I wanted lumen global illumination. I even showed you how to hotfix 5.5 to get software lumen back so you could hit targets like the Steam Deck. I later did a RHI performance comparison because 5.6 had come out and it was like, hey, we're faster than 5.5. So I took you through DirectX 11 SM5, DirectX 12 SM5, DirectX 12 SM6, and Vulkan, and showed you how to package out and actually run a command to start up your project to switch between them and do performance metrics. Now, some people reached out and they were like, hold on a second. In your optimization overview, your improve a performance video, your performance overview, you talk about forward rendering and how we could get more frames. And I think some of this was on the heels of Valorant releasing. They are on a highly customized version of UE5, and they're also running a custom mobile forward rendering pipeline on desktop. So there's articles out there on how to do this, but essentially it's HDR, PBR. They're squeezing a little bit more because they're using the mobile rendering pipeline versus the desktop forward rendering pipeline, but they're still able to do a lot of things that native forward or desktop forward can do. It's just squeezing a little bit more performance out so they can run on like Intel HDs and older GTX cards and still hit 60 frames a second. Now, Valorant can, on 2080s and better, they can hit insane frames. But anyway, in this video, where I did desktop forward rendering, SM5 on 5.6, I said I would take the project to Godot, which is what this part 5 was. Now, when I did this and I released the video, Godot achieved double the frame rate that forward rendering and UE5 did. And I'll pull it up here just to show you. Another thing was I realized I was paying for 2 directional lights that I didn't catch until later because I had duplicated the directional light. One was in the scene, one I pulled into this node here. But now that I've gotten rid of that extra directional light, the scene is lit a little less harsh out here because you don't have 2 suns. So the lighting has changed just a little bit, but performance is what I wanted to talk about here. So if you come in here, you'll see that like all of these volumetrics are real. All of those point lights are real. I didn't have to really fake anything. It's the real deal Holyfield. It's rendering what you see. And if we hit F11 here and we come and we look at the profiler, you'll see that we're at 900 and something frames. If we turn around and we look at the lights over here, we're still double that of what UE5 was able to pull off. If we turn around and look back this way and come to the edge, looking clear out at the sky, we maxed out at like 1,020 frames, I think, around that. We're getting an additional 200 frames looking out at the sky. So I just wanted to cover that briefly to show you guys what that performance is like. And keep in mind, Unreal's in the background and this is in the editor. I haven't packaged it out. So for all you Godot lovers out there, it's a really efficient engine, gives you a lot of liberties. However, I gotta say something here. To all of my Unreal Engine people, all of my community, I love you guys to death and I love Unreal Engine to death. But whenever I did this video, I didn't realize it was gonna make Unreal people feel some kind of way.
Let me tell you something! Let me tell you something! Wait.
Now, I'm sorry for that, and I have something for you. So, remember how I said I started this project in UE5, and I said, here we went back to forward rendering in UE5. If you're, I'm an advocate of, I'm an engineer first, and I find tools and I give myself options in my toolbox. But it's a monumental task to get another engine under your belt. And if you're very comfortable in the Epic camp and with Unreal Engine, I don't propose you swap the engine. I'm not trying to say that. And in that vein, let me say, what I've done is I've went back to 427, and I have manually migrated everything over for you guys. The lighting is the same. Everything that was in the UE5 project is back over here. The only difference is we're using the UE4 sky sphere instead of, the new UE5 sky sphere, but everything else is the same. Texture resolution, lighting methods, etc., etc., etc. All of this is the same. So, yeah, it was a manual process. If anybody's ever been in UE5 and was like, I got to go the other way, you'll know that it's not a click of a button, or like the video that I previously did, which was like Godot to Unreal, where it exported all these assets for you. I did have to manually export everything out into formats that are native, and then manually import everything in. But yeah, I wanted to go ahead and take care of that. So in the previous videos, you'll know that we 5 and some change on the UE5 side. Let's go look at UE4. This is likely the thing that I would recommend you do if you are not interested in swapping engine paths. As you can see, everything that was in UE5 is here. Sun occlusion, all the shadows are here. This is SM5 on DX11. Everything looks the same. UE5, the rendering is probably a tad bit different than UE4. If someone looked at this with a fine-tooth comb, they would probably be able to tell. But it's still a very powerful engine. There's still a lot left in this guy. It's battle tested. And the advantages of going with UE4 is that it's pretty much LTS. There's 427 plus. And it keeps you familiar with the pipeline. If you are someone who's been in UE5 and you're just, I need to run on a potato, I need to get cheaper, here we go. We're at 1 millisecond, 1.3. And the good news is that that's close to Godot numbers. It's not quite there, but 700 frames a second is essentially 200 frames more than what we were able to achieve in a package build of 5.6. And 5.6 is essentially the fastest version of UE5. The other thing is that auto instancing seems to be more efficient in UE4 in DirectX 11. We're at 33 draws. I think in UE5 around this area we were at 90 draws. So the only thing that could account for that is auto instancing. The other thing too is like memory utilization is probably half as much. So, you're going to run really, really, really well with this engine. And you're going to pull off the look, and you're going to have a familiar workflow, being in the Epic camp and having a solid foundation with that editor or that engine. So, yeah, I hope you guys find this well. I hope that, I've done something to kind of like show my love and my support for everyone across the Wild Ox Studios community. I'm always going to advocate for you. I'm always going to look for options that can give you the best outcome to reach your goals. And until next time, happy developing. Consider joining the Wild Ox Studios YouTube family. Look for the links in the description to the Discord. We'd love to have you over there. Happy developing, and see you next time.